Alright, cool. Sorry about that. I was just trying to set up my file. Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Darkest Dungeon. I'm just setting up my file real quick. Right. So, yeah, I'm Rebel. This is Darkest Dungeon. I'll just get loading in because we don't start timing until we skip the first, until we click to the first loading screen. So this is a roguelike with RPG elements, which is always fun to deal with. There is a lot of different things that can go wrong in this run and sometimes go very right. But, right, so if we're already on time, I can get going in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, cool. So,
run up these lanes.
We all start every Darkest Dungeon run on the old road. Then the enemy goes first, because of course he does. So, everything is getting... Oh, and he moves me as well. Basically, everything that could go wrong just automatically went wrong. I forgot to ask before I started, Post, can you confirm that it's the hag that I'll be going towards?
Yeah, let me check one more time. White Prince actually saw an enormous jump right at the end there.
Oh.
Appreciate everyone's generosity, but the boss will indeed be the hag.
Alright, cool. Alright, so, in the old road, this is one of the only 2 dungeons that we're going to play that's completely predetermined. So, I know exactly what's going to happen. The first route... The first corridor between the 2 rooms has 1 fight in it. Then this one here kind of teaches you about different enemy positions. So Dismas, the highwayman at the back, has things that you can hit multiple enemy... I'll call them ranks, but ranks kind of refers to the enemy positions within each fight. So Reynold, the Crusader, is not very good at hitting anywhere other than the front 2 rows right now. So you need Dismas to stay at the back so he can shoot the guy at the back while Reynold wails at the guy in front. So, this guy's just gonna go. He'll be done next turn. So, if you get really lucky on this fight, you get a crit on the first hit, and then you get a crit on the second hit with Reynold, and you just get to go absolutely nuts. Alright, cool. So, that was the old road. Right, so, when I get... when I drop into the hamlet,
such as it is.
When I drop into the hamlet, I have 52 seconds to do a quick bit of menuing here.
They are yours now, and you are
to grab some characters. Let me check what moves this guy has. Maze Patch, that's perfect.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws.
Tremendous. We always love a bit of high-speed menuing in our GDQs.
Yeah.
That the road is clear.
Unluckily, you have 52 seconds to do it because you can't do anything until the guys finish talking to you, essentially.
I see.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold.
Right, so, because this guy has a bunch of conversation stuff he has to do, if you've got anything you want to say on the donation side, please feel free to go ahead while we're waiting for the dialogue to finish.
Absolutely. First, a quick update on the Titanfall 2 incentive. Just about to crest $23,000 out of our $125,000 goal. Excellently done. Please keep it up. $5 from Tiny Tim's 78. Hey all, donating for the always awesome RebelDragon95. You are a great friend, and it's always a pleasure to see you running a GDQ. Let's beat that hag. Also, shoutouts to the amazing ateatree and also my fellow mods. You all are amazing at keeping chat cute. Cheers.
Alright, cool. Right, so the reason why I was going into the Darkest Dungeon is because when you go into the Darkest Dungeon and leave, the weeks in the game actually progress forward. So you need the weeks to progress forward because different things happen when the weeks progress forward. So like things like the stagecoach will refresh and other things will happen. But because this is a marathon run, I'm going to do 2 of these just to make sure that I get a kind of a good grasp on characters while I'm trying to play a little bit safe.
Rally to their twisted idols, and great gongs sound in anticipation of the coming sacrifices.
Also, I've heard this dialogue so many times, it's unreal. I did get a couple of the characters I wanted there, but I need a couple more just to try and go. Right, and also, if you notice, I wasn't playing with the controller as well because we need both keyboard, mouse, and controller to speed on this game. Because different menuing is faster on controller, but also when you use a controller, you can do a thing called move through scouting. I got absolutely nothing there, which is beautiful, but we're gonna... actually, she can go here, go there. Yep, she's fine there. Right, so now we're going to go into Ruins 1. So I mentioned earlier about us having a couple of predetermined dungeons. And this is one of them, so we're going to be doing that. So this first room here always has a fight in it, and I know what it is.
Back to the pit.
Alright. Keep going around here. Judgment, alright, cool. 2-turn is more than fine.
Give them no quarter.
Right, now we're going to go up. So one reason why you need to use a controller is because when you use a controller, you can do... when the game activates a scout, you can't click on rooms to go through them, but if you move on the controller allows you to move through it. Alright. Shooting that guy. Judgment should... Nah, Judgment didn't do enough damage there.
Very good, yeah. Is there time to talk about kind of how the flow of combat progresses and why you're taking some of the actions you are, or more
yeah,
focused on...
sure. Yeah, sure. So essentially in combat, because an enemy turn takes approximately 3 to 4 seconds, during combat, I'm not looking to spread damage, I'm looking to get rid of enemy turns as much as possible. So I'm trying to make sure that enemies don't take their turns before they have a chance to take their turns, is what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. So trying to make sure that I have attacks that I can hit, that I can hit all through, the, oh, we didn't do that. That I can hit throughout all of the enemy positions to make sure that they, that I can always progress a fight forward much easier.
Mm-hmm. Whereas a casual player might be just looking to protect their own players.
Yes, they may be looking to protect their players. When you speedrun this game, especially when you're only doing the singular boss things, I'm much more willing to just get rid of characters and just ditch them if they're like not doing anything.
Sure, as opposed to what you might see later, or you know, when you go back to town, you have the ability to help characters recuperate, and none of that really matters in this category.
Yeah, no, like, if I really, really need a character, like, I really need it, I'd consider it. Would I do it? I don't think so. I would just think of another thing that I could do instead. Like, there's always the option to play it safe, but when you speedrun this game, you get used to being like, no, I'm fine, I'll just make it up as I go along.
Sure.
Alright.
What do you think? Time for a quick donation or two?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We've got $15 from Persipalm, who says, I'll donate another $20 if the host says, back to the pitch, in his best ancestor voice.
Such a good line.
And $500 from Flamethrower. In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings. Until then, here's $500. Thank you so much to both of you, and to everyone watching.
Alright, so that's a food check that's always there. I always forget it's there. I remembered it was there this time. When a food check props up, you need to have 4 pieces of food, or every party member takes a bit of damage and sometimes a bit of stress. You need a shovel for this. Right, so another little thing you can do in Dungeons as well. So this is a scouting mission. And in scouting missions, you don't actually have to beat every single room you come across. It just says you have to explore them. So me running into this fight means I can just leave, and the game thinks I've explored it. So I can just, oh, one of my guys going crazy? Now they went crazy, they're hopeless. Shaking my head, and yeah, that counts as me beating the room, so I can just leave. And now I have to do something with the Hellion because she is not doing well.
I see something long absent in the sunken faces
of
passers-by.
I guess she's not going to go in there right now.
Of hope.
Oh, Houndmaster, oh, another Hellion. Absolutely means I'm ditching the first Hellion. You're just as good.
To the faithful.
Houndmaster. Right, we're going to go into the Wild now. All right. So because we picked because you guys picked the Hag, we're going to go into the Wild. The Weald is quite an annoying area. This is actually an okay layout. There's going to be a fight here. No, it's a trap. Good. Good. Luckily, the traps in this area only deal stress damage, so they're not the worst things in the world. They could do blight, but that's not amazingly bad. I'm prepared for the situation. So the Weald's kind of like a foresty area with a bunch of things like these goo and these cultists. So the goo things are kind of annoying because they like to multiply each other. So nice crit for 18. That's actually very useful because I can go for a very risky, and it worked.
Hey, very nice.
Yeah, so multi-hit attacks are pretty accurate in this game, so going for the YOLO there was definitely the optimal decision.
Yes, it's what some players may know as the XCOM conundrum. You know, 90% means 50%, and 50% means don't even bother.
Absolutely. And something interesting, though. So this is a 100% room battles thing. And room battle and 100% room battles on short quests have to have a treasure room in them. So this could potentially be the only fight that I have to do in this mission, but knowing my luck, it's not going to be. Naturally, but that is a thing that can happen with it. Alright, so these mushroom guys, luckily they don't have their little friends. That was a really nice crit. So these mushroom guys have a thing called swiping growth or something. Basically, they normally have these little mushroom buds behind them, and what the little mushroom buds do is they mark you and they blight you. And what they do around the side is they make sure that that the mushroom guys will make sure that they keep attacking the people that are marked. So that's what I want. Oh my god, it was a 1. Okay, that was a really good mission.
Brilliant.
That was a 1 room battle one, which is incredibly rare for the Weald.
Time for some donations on the way to the next one?
Absolutely. I'm going to do some menuing real quick.
Great, you tell me when to stop. $50 to MSF from Spectacle G. Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles, paid for in donation. $50 from Polarity Bear. The match is struck. A blazing donation is born. $100 from Blarg. I like my dungeons dark and my Doctors Without Borders. Can't wait for this run. Happy Pride Month, everyone, and trans lives matter. $50 from EDC. Darkest Dungeon is one of my favorite games, and it's great to see it being run at GDQ. Best of luck to the runner, and never forget that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. $15 from Driver Sim. I am so excited to see Darkest Dungeon being run at SGDQ. Good luck to Rebel Dragon on the run. It's time to return home. Claim your birthright and deliver our family from the ravenous clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon. Sorry about that. Back to you.
Yep, sorry. So I had a stroke of good luck with the 1 room battle, but I got hit with another bit of bad luck. So essentially what happened there was the missions it gave me were not short missions, and the long and medium missions take way too long, so I have to do this a couple times. Keep going with some donations and stuff while I'm trying to get a mission that I can do something with.
Okay, sure, yeah, and thank you for letting me and everyone watching at home know what's going on.
Yeah.
$50 from the Asp 00. What an absolute day. Great way to start Pride Month. Silly Block was an all-timer. Party on, gamers. Party on, the Asp. $25 from Mo Morrison. Ruin has come to GDQ. You remember our venerable speedruns, fast and entertaining, gazed proudly upon by the stoic audience all across the internet. With glitches and clips, I bent every effort towards finishing and mastering of those long-buried speed strats. If it's something you need to explain, cut in. I'll do the rest of it later.
No, it's fine. I got unlucky yet again. I have to do another one, so keep going.
Oh no. All right. Towards finishing and mastering of those long-buried speed strats, exhausting what remained of our family's PB on rowdy RNG and sturdy routing. I beg you, return home, collect money for Doctors Without Borders, and deliver GDQ from the ravenous, clutching shadows of a run of Darkest Dungeon. To the unrelenting rhythm. Thank you for that. And thank you also to Matt H. with a $100 donation to Doctors Without Borders. Glad to see Darkest Dungeon at GDQ. Hope Dismas doesn't miss.
Dude, he hasn't missed yet. He's been pretty good. All right, hopefully I get a good mission here.
Yeah, I've got my eyes out for this one. Let's see what we get.
Yes, I can actually play. Let's go. Right.
Excellent.
So I want you. I want you. I want you and you. That'll do me. And I have to do another quote YOLO mission, which Alright, so we're gonna go into another all-room battle ones. And this is already a kind of a poor layout. Let's see what direction I've got to go. I have to risk going that way because I didn't get a Mega Scout. Hopefully this is a quick fight. Oh, maggots, that's more than fine. So the maggots, so there are two small types of enemies called maggots and spiders. They normally are pretty weak, but they have really annoying effects like stun and blight. So normally you want to try and avoid them, but in this case it's kind of good to get them when you're just trying to get to a room, because they have such low HP pool.
Only in Darkest Dungeon will you hear, oh, maggots, that's fine.
Yeah. Right, let's see if I've got to go down. I don't. Alright, that was I'm thank God that was only maggots, because that would have been a wasted trip otherwise. Alright, so because that room is blank, I don't have to go down there because it says just do the room battles, not explore the rooms. So looking at this could be a one-roomer again, but it's probably a two-roomer, because two-roomers are very common in the world missions. Oh, double ectoplasm. Are they gonna? Oh, they're surprised as well. I'm getting quite lucky here. Okay, that should. No, he's gonna resist the bleed. That's fine. Killing with crit. That's good. Luckily, if there's only two enemies, I get 4 turns, so I get 4 chances to take them out of the turn. And there you go. That's a one turn.
Up and down. It's easy as you like.
It's absolutely up and down. All right.
The light, the promise of safety.
So I have to go down this thing anyway, so I don't even have to worry about scouts. Something else in the background as well, there are these interactables that I can do things with. They're called curios. I'll be frank, I don't remember the activation requirements for every single one of them. I know important ones that I may or may not need, but there are some that you need like a torch to do, and you need to use it with a particular character. Because normally I speedrun this game, I forget all the different things that you need to do.
Right, you only need the curios for the categories that you run. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because there are medium missions that have you going and interacting with curios, and those ones are normally the fastest ones for you to do. Because if you get lucky with a scout, you can see where everything is instantly.
Got it.
Alright, so I'm going down to this room here. Somebody got blighted because of a trap. This is probably... There we go. Oh, and there's ectoplasm as well. Alright, so Dogman missed. Great. I forgot to mention that one of the reasons why I chose the Houndmaster is Houndmasters actually have a higher scouting chance. But also, they come with these things called dog biscuits, which buff their damage, so they could potentially just have higher rates of damage. And also from the back 3 positions, they can hit all four positions from they can hit all 4 enemy positions, so they're just a very useful party member just to have.
Yeah, the utility seems great.
Useful.
What's the weakness, if you don't mind me asking?
When they're in the front position, they don't really have any options. They have 2 things. They have a stun. That was a one-roomer as well. They have a stunning move, which you need to have, because something I forgot to mention, outside of Dismas and Reynold, every time you get a new character, they basically have a random moveset, and you kind of have to just deal with whatever you get.
Got it.
What am I doing? Right, we're going to see if there are any missions, and there's not a mission, so we're going to do a quick scaredy cat skip again. Yeah, so when I go into the Darkest Dungeon and just leave, it's called the Scaredy Cat skip.
Once again,
so
the stars are right.
You probably noticed I've been using the same character in and out. So if you've played this game before, if you fail a Darkest Dungeon mission with more than one character, the game will always kill a random character. If you only go in with one character and leave, it doesn't kill the character, it just heavily increases their stress. So essentially what I'm doing is whenever I need a category, or whenever I play a category where I have to do this, I just pick a character and they basically become the martyr, which just gets thrown into the Darkest Dungeon and leave you basically just like play hot potato with them.
Yes, they pack mule all of the status effects and stress. Oh dear.
Absolutely, and the normal one that ends up doing it is the Plague Doctor.
Oh,
I got 3 building upgrades, so we're actually going to building upgrade. That is insane.
Tremendous.
I don't normally do this, but we're gonna but we're going to do some building upgrading. Okay.
Hey, while you do that, do you have time for a very special donation?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's $5,000 from Fangamer. Hey everybody, Fangamer here. Take a moment to hydrate and stretch and keep those donations coming. You can contribute directly, or you can shop the Fangamer SGDQ 2023 official merch collection. 100% of the profits from sales of GDQ merch gets turned into donations that supports MSF's humanitarian mission, but only until the end of the event. We have shirts, shorts, pins, a desk mat, mug, and more available now. See the full lineup at fangamer.com/GDQ. And thank you to all of you here in the venue and at home watching who bought Fangamer merch to make that donation and other ones like it possible.
Alright, so in my last wheeled mission now, it's another 100% room battles. This time I have got a mini mushroom guy at the back. The mini mushroom guys at the back are very annoying, so I'm actually going to dog biscuit up because I have 4 of them because I've got 2 Houndmasters, which is another perk of having multiple of the same character. Because certain characters have items that they bring into battle, so having multiple of some of them can actually be useful because it can make sure that you have more options with one of them, because you can have one of them just spreading damage and one of them doing big damage to individual targets.
I see. And there isn't like an item limit on how many biscuits you can have or something like that?
Well, if you have 4 Houndmasters, you'll get 8 biscuits.
Ah, very good.
Because you get 2 per Houndmaster.
Granted, but you've also got 1 up in the front, which is far from optimal, as you explained.
Yes, yeah. Houndmasters are really, really strong in like this category, especially because when I get into the Hag boss fight, you'll see exactly why it's like that.
Got it.
All right, let's see if I got a room. Okay, this might be a map. Oh, it is a map. So now that will show me where every single thing is in this dungeon, or a majority of the dungeon, which is very useful. Nice. Nice, and this should be a 1-turner if he doesn't miss. Okay, cool, 1-turner, let's go. Alright, so if this is another 1 battle, because it's another treasure room it showed me first, if that's 3 in a row, I swear to God, I'm gonna be so upset.
Why is that?
Upset with this because it never happens whenever I play this game and in any other scenario.
Got it. This is your legendary RNG, and it's a run where you've had the in-betweens haven't been as nice to you. I got it.
No, the in-betweens have been horrible to me. That guy, he's going to duplicate now. Oh, and it's a large ectoplasm. That's not very nice at all.
Oh, that is a very big boy.
He's quite a large lad, and that was a really good crit. So the large lad, I'm actually going to dog biscuit up on the large lad because I need to just do some damage to him. That was another good crit.
Clutch.
And then he's going to go big slime. He's probably going to duplicate again. Nope, 6. All right. So that bleed out move I'm doing applies a debuff to the Hellion, but it's very worth it just to make sure that you get at least more damage and a potential bleed. That was an okay large ectoplasma. Oh, we have a map in it. Oh, that could have been looted. So sometimes if there's a pack or crate or something on the ground, you don't always have to pick it up. Characters can sometimes pick it up automatically. If you have a character that has Kleptomaniac, they have the tendency to steal stuff. If the Kleptomaniac thing is what activates, is what takes the items, the game shows you better items than what you would have got if you picked it up yourself, just to really rub it in.
Of course, I mean, this game is all about salt in the wound.
Yeah, like, it really likes to like body you. Right, so now that you've seen what the little mushroom guys do, so these guys have a move called Rend of the Marked. Rend for the Marked, which does additional damage to characters that are marked, so you kind of have to watch out for that to make sure that things normally fine. And they can also do this move called Rain of Blight, which applies Blight, which is a damage over time. Alright, so... And hopefully, yep, that doesn't bleed. So normally in most categories, especially some of the shorter boss ones, bleed and blight are not really moves you go for, because the additional animations could be kind of slow. But in the kind of the harder dungeon areas like the Weald, you need you sometimes need a little bit of an extra damage. Oh, nice! The Hellion's on death's door. Right, so I get to play Death's Door now. So what Death's Door does is, whenever a party member is put to 0 HP, they don't instantly die. They get put onto a thing called Death's Door, and from then on, every time they take damage, they have a 67.7% chance to die.
A trifling victory.
So you want to make sure that characters don't stay on Death's Door for long, because it becomes basically dice rolling the game. When you play bingo of this, we do have a bingo goal that is survive. What is it? Like get through something like 5 or 6 death blow resists. No, it might be 8 on one character, or like overall, and it gets really wild. Right. These guys are annoying, so I'm going to set up a riposte. So what riposte does is every time an enemy attacks this just now, he's going to retaliate. Even if he dodges or not, he's just going to retaliate instantly. Which is very useful because this guy has blanket fire, which hits everything. Then he takes 9 damage, basically. Then this guy's going to take some damage because he's going to also attack me. And he dies. So riposte just basically makes it so that whenever your guys attack, it just makes it much easier just to deal damage to everything. So this guy's going to take damage now because he attacked me, and he takes a crit as well. So one riposte took out 3 of the guys on the opponent's team in one turn. That kind of shows how silly it can get from one character.
Yeah, that's MVP caliber ability use. Very nice.
Absolutely. Riposte is way too good. Right, let's see what direction I've got to go. No matter which way I've got to go, I don't have any waypoints, so what if I get Scout?
Are we running on current patch? Is riposte something that people could still use in this manner today?
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
nice.
I love taking 3 highwaymen into, 3 or 4 highwaymen into combat and just doing riposte all day, just moving them all past each other. Because they have another move called point blank shot, and if the RNG of turn order goes into your favor, you can riposte, and then at the turn after you point back shot to move yourself backwards, and then the next guy will point blank shot so he can repeat it and do the same thing.
Very nice.
So you can just continuously shoot yourself backwards and forwards while also having riposte active, which means that you're just doing damage to anything that hits you.
Right, almost kind of makes you feel more like a cowboy than a highwayman.
Absolutely. Alright, so that spider's dead, and that is a 1-turner for the spiders, which is good because they weren't surprised. Alright, so that's the 3rd world mission. So, the reason I have to complete 3 world missions is because each dungeon area kind of has like a level, and once their level is met, the boss will unlock. So now I have the hag unlocked.
I must rely upon you to set it right.
Excellent.
Alright, so
I had collected many rare and elusive values.
Are there preparations you need to make, or are we on the way?
I'm just going in. I don't have anything else that I need to do because I haven't progressed far enough in the game to unlock enough stuff. I can't buy anything else useful.
I see.
So I'm just going to go in and fingers crossed everything goes well, because that's how we roll. Right, so it's that room there. So, one quirk of boss dungeons in this game is that bosses will always be in the furthest room away from where you start the mission. So I just quickly counted out the rooms, and it's going to be that room at the bottom right-hand corner there, which is one of the shortest world missions I've had in a good while. Alright, so hit that guy with that. I'm going to try and riposte again, because these guys get annoying. Is he on 2 bleed? He's on 2 bleed, he's going to die. That's actually more than fine. Hit that guy with 5. He's going to die. Cool. And I'm going to break through to make sure that the Hellions in the front row. Oh, that is a bad crit. Oh, that was a beefy crit right there. That's it's not fun. Alright, so now this guy should just be able to... Luckily, once the big guy does point blank shot, he won't do it again for a few turns, so...
Got it. But yeah, lest you think Rebel Dragon has made this look all too easy, you can see from our last dungeon here that the game does not play around. It will take any opportunity you give it.
Yeah, I took that one crit which did 17 damage to me, which is quite beefy. Just going to make sure that I'm good up a little bit. Right, so something I should probably notice as well is that I didn't bring a healer with me. Healers are very slow in a lot of instances, and by healer I mean the Vestal is the only good one, and the Vestal doesn't have many useful moves at this point. She's very useful in like the any percent categories and like those categories where you actually do the darkest dungeon. She's insane for that, because obviously you need a healer to do the darkest dungeon. It's a kind of a requirement because of how hard those dungeons are.
Yeah, but here we're just patching ourselves up with whatever we can buy in town and hoping for the best.
Absolutely, we're just patching ourselves up and we're gonna roll. I'm actually gonna use a dog biscuit here, just to try and finish this fight a little bit faster. You didn't have to dodge me. That's a dog. I'm actually gonna take her out. So another thing I'm also focusing on as well when taking out enemies is enemies that can deal stress. I'm gonna take out first. I haven't mentioned it yet, but underneath my HP bar, there's another bar which is your stress meter. So something else I've also taken into consideration is my stress management, because enemies will tend to attack people that have higher stress over people that have lower stress. So I say tend to. That's not the rule. That's just kind of what it should be. That's a really nice crit.
It's like a de facto aggro meter because the game wants to pile stress onto your characters because of what stress does.
Yes.
You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, because when your stress hits 100, you have to go through what's called a virtue or an affliction check. And the game either gives you a bad affliction where you start doing anti-party related things, or you're just a general nuisance to deal with, or you get a virtue which is a positive one. And essentially that lets you do things like decrease stress on all the party members, heal up damage, and other things like that. There is a trick you can do where if you exit the game, we exit the main menu during the virtue check animation, you can repeat the check over and over and over again until you get one that you want, because how the game autosaves, it doesn't autosave until the check's been complete and the animation for it fully finishes. But the animation cannot fully finish unless this menu here is closed. Which goes for any animation in the game, it can't finish until the menu, like the pause menu, has been closed. So what you can do is you can use that to stall things and check.
Yeah, save scumming is a time-honored tradition. We've all done it. Honestly, if you haven't done it, send in a $5 donation to tell us that you are more virtuous than the rest of us.
Yeah, no, you'd be lying if you say you did that. I save scum everything. But with how this game autosaves, there are other categories in this game on older patches where you can open multiple copies of the game at once and trick the game into saving in wrong locations to duplicate items and quest rewards and things.
Got it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's that room there now. I've had to reevaluate my counting.
Ancient traps lie in wait, unsprung and thirsting for blood.
Gotta make sure I get the torch, just to make sure.
The way is lit.
Oh yeah, and something else I'm doing as well. I'm making sure my torchlight stays at a high enough level, because when the torch goes down, yes, you do get better rewards, but you get more debuffs and different things. So you don't want to spend too long on low torch amounts.
Yeah, it affects a little bit of everything, doesn't it? Like,
yes, it does.
And seeing when you're rolling over, there's a tooltip basically describing like, hey, more likely to get encounters, worse encounters, all that stuff.
Yeah. Right, so we're in the Hag. So the Hag's gimmick is that the Hag puts people into the cooking pot. So what we're going to do is we're going to just sacrifice one of... So the reason why I bring 2 Houndmasters is because I always hope she takes one of the Houndmasters into the cooking pot. Because then I always have one that I can just go nuts with on the background. I'm actually going to do a riposte.
And does that second Houndmaster have access to all the dog biscuits?
Yes, because they're just in your inventory.
Good. Got it.
They're just in your inventory, so you can make sure that they're always there.
Smart.
It's always thinking about the dog biscuits. Alright, so Dismas is probably going to go before the Hellion, which isn't too good. I'm going to have to manually move him. Actually, no, she went first. Cool, I can break through. Right, so now Dismas back in his optimal position. And she might do meat tenderizer. Yep, she does meat tenderizer, which means she can take a riposte. Oh, dude, my guy's at death's door, which is fine. All right. So something I should also mention is time does come up at the end of this fight. That was a really beefy crit. So I'll make sure I call time at the right time. But she might die from this if she does me tenderizer.
I was going to say, is it just zeroing out the Hack's health?
Yeah. Yeah, so I hope you guys are ready on time because, oh god, because that is time. That was an incredibly good hag run. The wheel can go anywhere from about, my PB is 28 minutes. The longest I've ever taken to do it is like an hour and 5 because of how the dungeons tend to work. So,
yeah, on my end, that was a 34:19.
That's really, really good. Yeah, so that's Darkest Dungeon, that's the hag. Unfortunately, you didn't get to see the Swine Prince because there's a little bit of tech with the Swine Prince, because in the Swine Prince fight, there's the Swine Prince and Wilbur. You don't actually have to defeat Wilbur, you can just beat up the big guy and leave, and the game goes, well, you beat the Swine Prince, and lets you complete the dungeon, so you don't even have to complete the fight. But yeah, so that's Darkest Dungeon for you. Shout out to the Darkest Dungeon speedrunning community. There's a lot of people, but the main ones I want to shout out are Tricro and Cryfor. Those two guys really got me into this game and really, really were like helpful in basically everything of me learning this game and getting into it. Before I go, just quick shout out to all my boys from the United Kingdom. You guys are great. But yeah, thank you for letting me run Darkest Dungeon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed.
Absolutely. And hey, shoutouts to you from Phenomenon, who donates $20 saying, thank you, RebelDragon95, for the great run of this beautiful game and the superb commentary. Absolutely loved it. I echo their sentiments all the way. Thank you for bringing this game to GDQ today, and congratulations on the amazing run.
Very much.
Yeah, truly, that was a superlative run of Darkest Dungeon. Thank you again, RebelDragon95. A level of gameplay that I, as a casual player, have never seen from that game. So I hope you all enjoyed. There is some more love left over from the people who were watching that run who agreed with just how well that went. Rybello donates $50 from Doctors Without Borders. Gotta show some love for Darkest Dungeon, especially with ateatree on the mic. Many fall in the face of chaos, but not this one. Not today. And so we did not. Thank you so much to all the support making that possible. Also, a couple of follow-ups from people who donated earlier during the run, like Purse Palm, who donated $20 more, 20 as promised. Many thanks for the trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood. And $15 from Driver Sim. A handsome reward for a task well performed. Thanks for the great narrator impression. Hey, my pleasure. I'll level with you. I pulled that one up on my phone just to make sure I got the read as close to it as possible. Love to do what I can for the people out there watching. It means the world to me that you all enjoy the kind of content that we can bring to you on behalf of Doctors Without Borders. A couple of particularly generous donations just coming in recently during that last run. $501,000 from Anonymous, with no comment on either of those, but the generosity speaks volumes, truly. And $510 from the SGDQ Poker Tournament. Poker Tournament held for MSF. Donation incentives decided between the winners Primorix, Troy of Athens, and Old Crab. Yeah, those are the kind of events that attendees to GDQ marathons could just agree to put on. The love for what we do and spending time with each other just shines through. So they decided to put on a poker tournament. I saw there was buy-ins and rebuys, and then the winners were able to donate to the incentives of their choice to raise more money for MSF. And $250 from the Baxley family in memory of Sandy Baxley. Thank you so much. We're getting more great things ready for you, including interviews should be coming up shortly, and of course, more amazing speed gaming. But first, a short break, hydrate, stretch, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2023, running live from Minneapolis, Minnesota in support of Doctors Without Borders, and we are powered by Twitch. And, of course, the support of viewers in the audience and all around the world, like Jensen, who donates $100 to MSF and says, I've been watching GDQ events for many years now, and every single time they brought great fun into my life and much-needed assistance to people around the world. Thank you to all runners, hosts, and crew who make these incredible marathons possible, and I hope they will continue for many years to come. I think everyone here would like nothing better, so thank you so much for the well wishes. As we get things ready for what I believe is a prize block, and then our next run, we do want to take a moment first to thank some very important sponsors. And Asus. Asus gaming monitors and peripherals give you the perfect blend of features and performance for the games that you love to play. Go to us.asus.click/SGDQ to start assembling your ultimate gaming lineup. Asus's tough gaming and ROG monitors and peripherals make them an industry leader in gaming, selling everything from keyboards and mice to controllers and chairs. I can personally vouch. I have a decent amount of Asus gear, and it serves me well. I cannot complain at all. Thank you so much, Asus. And with that, my time on the host desk at SGDQ 2023 comes to a close, but please do not fret. The weekend, the time to come will only get better from here. When we come back, you will have Ruby Hart on the mic. You will have prizes from Shout and Scent and Frozen Flygon, and you will have so much fun. Please stick around.